How's it going, you guys? Today we're finally going to be taking a look at unboxing this Gundam Converge EX04 Zeta Plus C1 blue version. This is the version of the Zeta Plus that is also known as the Hummingbird from the Gundam Sentinel series. Now, if you know, a few months ago I actually unboxed this, which is the Deep Striker from the same series, the Gundam Converge Deep Striker. And I really like it a lot, and I'm still waiting to do some like extra panel lining and extra little painting on that, but that should be coming sometime in the future as that comes apart. But for now, we need to unbox his companion in the form of the blue version of the Hummingbird. Bandai did release a red version as well, but that was an online exclusive, a P-Bandai exclusive. So I did not get that, I just went with the blue version. The red version, I guess, would have matched the Deep Striker, but anyway, this will be cool. One thing that I have noticed in pictures that I've seen of them is that the whites of them are not actually the same color. That one of the whites is a little bit more yellow and the other one is a little bit more pure white, so that's a little bit disappointing. It would have been nice if they would be perfectly matching, but we'll see when we get it unboxed if that actually turns out to be the case. Here on the front, we've just got a nice picture of the mobile suit there. You can see the lights on the figure don't actually, the eyes and the camera on the head don't actually light up like you see here in the picture. That's just photoshopped in there. On the top, just like the Deep Striker, you are able to separate the mobile suit from the extra add-on parts there as well to stand them up separately. So we'll take a look at that as well. On the side here, just some cool logos there for the Anaheim Electronics and the Wave Rider mode there. Basically, it's a transforming mobile suit. Here on this side, we've just got a little bit about just the Zeta Plus C1 without the Hummingbird boosters there. So you can make just that by itself if you want. And then here on the back, again showing it in the transformed mode. I guess that would be only the add-on equipment, I think there, it looks like. It doesn't look like the actual mobile suit is hiding inside there anywhere. That might just be only all the add-on stuff. So let's go ahead and get this unboxed and see what we got inside here. So one bag of stuff. 2 bags, 3 bags, and there is our instructions there as well, and a piece of Bandai gum. So here in this first bag we can see we just have that dark clear parts that are going to be forming the base. In this bag it looks like we've got the V-fin there, which is protected with a little piece of cardboard. And then looks like a part of the backpack, a stabilizer there, or an arm actually. And then the legs and head of the Gundam, and then the other arm, another, that's the backpack there. And here also stabilized with some pieces of cardboard is the smart gun, or this would be the smart beam rifle, and that would be the extended one. I'm not sure the actual technical name of that, but it's the longer one that comes with the Zeta Plus C1. And has the disc radome on there as well. I'll have to check on the name of that. And then here we've got the other parts, the giant boosters, the large boosters. Looks like those are going to be the ones for the legs, and then these are going to be the ones for the backpack and or shoulders. And then one more piece there, there's another connector piece in there. So not quite as much. It looks like it is going to be a little bit smaller than the Deep Striker, but that kind of goes without saying that the Deep Striker is going to be very, very large. So why don't we get all this stuff taken out and then we'll see what we've got. So there's everything that we're going to be getting. Now why don't we take a look at the instructions. Basically we want to start with, you can check that if you want, there's all of the parts there, and this is actually telling you the actual names for what all of those are called. So if you give me a second to read the Japanese, it looks like that longer rifle is number 6, that's called the Beam Smart Gun A, and then number 9 is called the Beam Smart Gun B. So I guess that's what that is, Beam Smart Gun A and B. So they are both Beam Smart Guns, but just a little bit different. Anyway, the first thing that we're going to be making is just the Gundam itself, just with its normal legs and with the Beam Smart Gun A, the longer one. Then the second thing you can do is to place all the add-on equipment onto the base, and then stand up the Gundam with the base, so we'll do that second. Then the next thing you can do is to remove the legs and make it into the actual Hummingbird unit itself. And the last thing that you can do is to make it in its kind of Wave Rider mode. So it looks like you are going to be using a few pieces of the Gundam in there along with all of the add-on stuff to make it into that big Wave Rider mode. I think we're going to do maybe this Wave Rider mode first, because how I'm going to eventually be displaying it is going to be in the Hummingbird mode. So we'll take a look at the Gundam first, then that setup, then the Wave Rider mode, then last one is like that. So let's go ahead and make the Gundam. Alright, so here we have just the Zeta Plus C1 just by itself there. And as you can see, as I was putting it together, I did have a little bit of trouble with stuff kind of falling off quite a bit as I was trying to get everything on there. And just because there's a lot of, because of all the transformations that it has, there's kind of a lot of different parts that you're going to need to add or remove depending on which kind of formation you want to use. So like that does make for a little bit of articulation, but it doesn't mean, that also means that a lot of these parts are going to be just falling off a bit if you're messing around with it too much. I do like the look of this. It does look pretty good. I am a fan of the Zeta Plus and the Zeta Plus C1, I guess. There is a bit of articulation there. If you'll notice, the hands don't actually have holes for holding any of the guns, as all of the guns, if you want to use them, I guess, I'm not sure how you can actually hold the Beam Smart Gun, but you're basically going to be using it in unison with the other Beam Smart Gun, it looks like, because you can't actually put this Beam Smart Gun into his hand. There's no hole there. I guess if you really wanted, you could maybe drill a hole there, but still the problem is, where are you going to put the butt of that rifle? So that, I guess, we're going to be adding here in a little while. We did take these, the beam cannons that are on the side skirt, sorry about that. The beam cannons that are on the side skirt there were taken off of this part, so we had to take those off there, put them on the side skirts here. The head also does have some articulation there, it does rotate. The fins on the back are going to rotate a little bit as well as those boosters, the white parts in the center of the backpack there, are going to have a little bit of movement. You can point those out like that if you wanted to. And I'm not sure about these little fuel tanks on the side of the wing. Those are fixed. This stabilizer is one of the ones that's popping off quite a bit there in the back. But otherwise, looks pretty good. Now that we've got it like this, why don't we assemble the rest of the parts onto the base platform for it. And we'll just go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so as you can see, that wasn't really the easiest thing to do, but got all of those on there, and it's especially not easy because the instructions really aren't the clearest, and just doing it kind of from behind the camera is not all that easy, but got that there. And then there's the spaces here. Feet can just plug into there, hopefully, without anything really falling off. For the Deep Striker, they didn't really plug in like they normally do on a normal Converge base. They just kind of just rested against there, so I'm guessing it's going to be kind of the same for this. It's not really going to be a super tight fit, but there you can see is how that's going to fit onto there. We do have one extra part here, this part of the base, that doesn't have anywhere to go now, so you would just kind of have to keep that somewhere basically, but that is that. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's okay, but I don't really know why you would really want to display it like that unless you had a few of them to display. But if you only have one, I think we probably know what you're going to be going for, and that's the Wave Rider mode, right? Or probably not, but the Wave Rider mode is what we're going to do next, so why don't we go ahead and do that. That one I'm sure is going to take a little while because it's going to be a little bit difficult to do, but here we go. I'm going to do my best. Right, well, as you can see, that was definitely not the easiest thing to do, as there were some parts that I just could not get to stay on there, or could not get to fit exactly how they are. I think for Bandai to make a transforming model kit is one definite feat of engineering, but to make a transforming Converge figure this small is definitely tricky. So understandably, it's not really the easiest thing to do, but let's see how it's going to stand on the base here. It does look pretty cool, and hopefully I'm going to be able to figure out how it rests on here, because I'm pretty sure you don't take the knees off. They need to slide underneath like that, and then it just sits on there like that. So there we go. I mean, there's no denying that that does look pretty impressive. I think if I did have the red version of this, if I had both, I would maybe want to display one in the Wave Rider mode like this, and then one in the Hummingbird configuration. But also, as you can see here, if you noticed, we basically stripped everything off of the torso. Obviously, quite a lot of stuff here is going to be left over if you are going to display it in this mode. So then you got to figure out, what you're going to do with this stuff. So I think probably the best bet is going to be the actual Hummingbird mode, and I guess I keep calling it the Hummingbird mode. I don't know if that's actually the name of the mode, but into what we want, and that is the actual Hummingbird itself. So let's go ahead and transform this thing one more time and do that. Alright, so there, as you can see, transforming it into this mode was not quite as difficult because there wasn't quite as many finicky parts in there, but it is all set up now, looking very, very cool. I like how the smart guns attach to each other, one on top of the other. And the backpack, I mean, it's relatively simple, but with these giant boosters on its shoulders and on its, not on its legs, but for its legs, I guess, it's definitely looking very, very impressive. Just the overall details, I guess I haven't really mentioned too much about that yet. The overall details are really nice. As you can see, there's quite a bit in there. If you wanted to go in and do a little bit of hand painting or a little bit of detailing with some panel lining, I think that would probably look really, really cool for this kit. You could definitely just make it look even more detailed if you just went in with a little bit of accent color. Once again, in this mode, we are still having a few extra pieces, a few leftover pieces, the tops of the arms, this piece for the Wave Rider mode, of course the legs, and this piece for the base. Other than that, that's pretty much it. And finally, at long last, here's what it looks like next to the Deep Striker. So that's looking pretty cool. I can definitely tell you that there is definitely a difference in the color of the whites, as you can probably tell by how washed out that white is from the Deep Striker. The Deep Striker is pure white. This one is definitely an off-white color, so I'm not sure if the official art is like that as well. I'll have to take a look at it again, and it's probably going to be difficult to tell too, because often the color balance for like official Kotoki art is a little bit off too. Just as like a sort of stylistic coloring, so it might be kind of hard to tell, but anyway, they still look really awesome together, and you can still tell that they sort of belong together anyway, just by how crazy they are with all of this stuff and these boosters and stuff all over the place. So they still look like part of a team, and they still look like they're going to be awesome looking on the shelf together. So definitely can't wait to put these up on the shelf and do a little bit of detail work on them. Sometime hopefully in the near future, like I've mentioned before, I want to do a video just kind of where I'm just going to detail some Converge figures. So hopefully sometime in the near future I'll get a chance to do that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been pretty long, but as you can see, there was quite a lot of stuff in there for this figure. The price was something like $20 US, I think. Definitely worth it, I think, if you're a fan of Sentinel. Obviously we don't get a whole lot of stuff from the series, especially for these mobile suits. So if you want to have something like this, basically your options at this point are the very, very expensive Gundam fixed figuration figure, or this. So I think $20 is very, very affordable to have a Hummingbird of your own. Or unless you're Tim at the Child of Mecha and you can build your own, there'll be links to some of his work down below. You guys should check out. He's scratch building and kind of kit bashing a Zeta or a Zeta C+ Hummingbird of his own as well. So anyway, check that out. Check this out if you're interested. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.